Hello to my Virgos. This is Queen Amara coming to you with your general reading, Virgos. Let's get right into it. This reading is for this new moon and solar eclipse into the 28th of September. Let's get it started. Virgos. I'm sending you all lots of love and light. Let's get started with some third eye, some awakening oils here. This is a general reading, so take only what resonates with you. If you're interested in a personal reading, my information is on my website, queenamara.com, along with my store energy. Let's do it. Let's go. First card out the deck is your card, the Hermit card. So you lead the spread, all right? So Spirit affirms that your light shines brightest when you seek wisdom within. This week is a week of deep soul reflection. So you're going in to do some soul searching, right? The challenge here is the Fool card, right? And so Spirit reminds you that not every detail can be planned, but trust the divine unfolding, right? Yeah, we're as much as we try to perfect things, we're still in human form, right? You never know how things are going to pan out. The past influences is the Death card, right? And so a major ending or shift has already occurred. Spirit shows this transformation has cleared the way for your spiritual renewal, right? For your spiritual renewal. In other words, you're not a fool, but other people are not a fool either. The Fool card, Uranus, is retrograde currently, and it went retrograde in Gemini. So it sends a very strong message when somebody puts an end to something. They don't need to make an announcement. They just put an end to it. Just end it. Just end it. Just to go through a very powerful transformation. It doesn't mean that you're afraid. It doesn't mean that you retreated in fear or confusion or whatever. It shows that you're yielding to source, right? And I know that because of the Tower card. It looks like whoever you're linking up with is almost obsessed. And I'm talking about in the physical realm, right? We're talking about in terms of whoever you're linking up with is literally obsessed with ending people. Almost like we got to end this energy in order for you to stay focused, right? Well, you don't have to do all of that. Everybody is a star. Everybody is a star. So the future influence is a star. The future influence is a star. So hope and healing are on the horizon. Spirit confirms that divine clarity and inspiration are entering your path, right? Are entering your path. And the conscious goal here is the Magician card, right? And so you seek to manifest with precision and clarity. And Spirit affirms your conscious desire to align thought, will, and action here. And so again, what I'm picking up on is that some people feel like they have to be the only star in the universe, right? So it could and so Source is trying to tell you that's not necessarily true. And if you're linking up with people who feel like you have to eliminate people in order to, or somebody has to eliminate you in order for them to shine bright, Source is saying that is going to be the first problem. You realize that you're linking up with the wrong energies. If you feel like you got to eliminate somebody in order for you to shine, you're linking up with the wrong energies. That's going to be your first clue right there. I got to align myself with people to get that employee fired so that I can get their position, instead of praying that, okay, they can stay in their position, but Source is carving out something specifically designed for me. That's going to be the first problem. I gotta, cancel everybody out in order for me to shine bright. That's the first problem. And so Source is really trying to help somebody to get the message loud and clear. And this is your conscience goal, right? You seek to manifest with precision and clarity, and Spirit affirms your conscious desire to align thought, will, and action, right? So it's free will. It really is free will. So Source is trying to get somebody to get into prayer warrior mode. What your unconscious influences have been the moon, and beneath the surface, hidden fears or illusions remain. And so Spirit calls you to trust intuition and the message revealed through dreams. You're getting all kinds of downloads in dreams, right? So because somebody has ended something, the messages won't be going out or coming in, period. There's no form of moon magic, dark magic, astral projection, whatever, that will be able to get through and break through. If air is not involved, there can't be any connection. The line has been cut. Something has been cut, right? So if a person is trying to send you dark magic, that it's going to come back and backfire and hit them. If you're trying to send them dark magic, or you're around or linking up with people that are trying to send other people dark magic, it's going to backfire. So once the air is cut, no, rebirth begins. Rebirth begins, right? And it's going to also expose all the energies that you're linking up with that secretly want to end you by overwhelming you. So sometimes moving on quietly without making an announcement exposes everything immediately. Sometimes it exposes that you're not the problem. You moved on quietly. You left the job. You ain't filed no complaints against anybody. You didn't make any disparaging comments about anybody. You just moved on quietly. And the same problem in the office remains. Guess what? It was never you. You just kept going along with the flow. It was never you. So once people decide to quietly exit, they're not exiting out of fear or that they will run off. Source is saying at that point, looking at the cards here, then you'll realize it was always you versus you. You never had any competition. Neither does anyone else. So something has ended. Something has ended already. And Source is trying to get you to see something from a higher frequency. That balance is key. Spirit encourages you to integrate the spiritual with the practical, blending energies with patience. In other words, you were being sacrificed. You were being sacrificed. And once people recognize that you're being sacrificed and you can't see it, and they decide to cut you off, it's like a person that says, I love you enough to cut you off because I see what other people are doing to you. And even if you don't see it and it's hurting you and you're like, well, what do you mean cut me off? Well, tell me, what am I not seeing? They're not your God. Source is saying that's what prayer is for. That's why human's rejection is God's protection from something. Once you can't see what people are doing to you, let's say in the office setting or even in a family setting, once you can't see it and other people can see what's happening and that it's overwhelming people, and somebody is still on, okay, I got to analyze this. I got to make it make sense. I got to pull out the spreadsheet. I got to get better and better. I got to master something. So it's just saying some people will just end it because they are yielding to what Source is telling them to do. They prayed about it. Source says, hey, end something. Just go ahead and end it. That's why some of your colleagues, they just moved on. They just moved on from a job. It says nothing here. It's just a bunch of chaos and confusion. They just moved on from the job and just moved on and let the tower do its thing, right? So you're seeing something from a higher frequency, and the Wheel of Fortune here is, like I said, Spirit encourages you to integrate the spiritual with the practical, blending energies with patience, right? And so your external influences of the Wheel of Fortune, you're having a total recall of some things, a total recall. The universe is moving in your favor. Spirit highlights, you may feel a sudden change, yet Spirit assures that breakdowns clear space for true alignment. So Source is trying to align you with the energies that you prayed for. And so if an energy removes themselves, it doesn't show a weakness, it shows their obedience. And obedience is better than sacrifice. And so what some energies are trying to show you is that they know that you are being sacrificed. You were sacrificed on a job. People said, okay, we got to find somebody to pick on. Let's pick on Virgo. They just keep on going with the flow. Somebody in your family, let's pick on Virgo. Virgo will just go along with it. Anytime they have a problem, they're going to try to perfect it. They're not even going to a point where they'll just go down with us, whoever it is, right? So Source is saying to you, once you realize you're having a tower moment, that, okay, oh my God, I'm being sacrificed here. I better hurry up and get out of here. I need to start praying for, structure and authority. And so, yeah, the World card here. You're watching some people go through their karma. That's trying to tie you up in their karmic cycle, right? And somebody keeps trying to tell you that you're in other people's karmic cycle, right? And so after a while, stuff starts overlapping and you start realizing, okay, how did I get caught up in other people's karmic cycle? How in the world, if I'm new to this job, last hired, first fired, how the heck? I just got here. I just got here to this job. How am I the last hired and the first fired when I'm doing my job to perfection? Because somebody did not tell you ahead of time what was going on, that they're in a karmic cycle. They didn't tell you ahead of time. You know, lie about omission or commission. Who knows which one? Somebody didn't tell you. Whether it's in your personal or professional life, they didn't tell you what was going on. You got caught up in some kind of a loop in some way, shape, form, or fashion. So high vibrating Virgos are analytical, practical, and loyal. Low vibrating Virgos are overcritical, perfectionists, and also warriors. And so source is saying you've gone through a rebirth here to recognize that you are a star regardless. You're a star regardless, meaning whether you were the first one fired after being the last one hired, guess what? You still have deposited into the universe bank. You're still a star. You're going to shine bright regardless wherever you go. And so you don't need to eliminate. You don't have to get to a job and say, okay, I need to eliminate some people before so I can be top star. So it's like, no, that's all that's going to do is backfire. I don't need to gossip about certain family members in order for me to, be the star at the family function. I don't need to jump on a bandwagon. So yeah, detachment. You're learning how to detach. With detachment, you finally feel whole inside with or without the fulfillment of a particular desire. Ironically, that's often when it's fulfilled. Yeah, that's often when it's fulfilled. Something is over. Everybody who recognizes their star has already won. Some people are just born a star. And so they just, like I said, you were born a star. Everybody's born a star. Really, everybody has an 11th house. And so Source is trying to tell somebody that, this week is about reflection, trust, ascension. The Hermit guides you inward. The Star restores your faith. And then the World card actually crowns you with completion, right? So Spirit just reminds you that your path is one of divine integration, balancing wisdom with surrender as you step into your higher truth. And so if this message resonates with you, hey, share it with someone, right? But continue being victorious. Continue being victorious. You have an energy that is that you're linking up with, who feels very lucky to have you on their team. They feel very lucky to have you on their team because something about them was just overwhelmed. They were just overwhelmed, right, with something. And so some energies feel like, okay, they feel very blessed and highly favored to have you as part of their team. And some people can't see that. Some people cannot see the difference that they make when they own a job. They just can't see. All they can see is somebody stopped or blocked them from getting to the next promotion. Just ridiculous stuff. Just ridiculous stuff. Instead of saying, hey, I must have been qualified. I was hired for the job. So, okay. Yeah, so manifestation. So somebody's connected to some energies that's really heavily into moon magic, astral projections, doing all this other stuff. And so you're learning how to detach, just like other energies who will know their star. They already know they're a star. They've learned how to detach. Pray about it, get a word back from source, and detach. And so some people are going to cheer. Your ancestors are proud of you. Some people are going to cheer your departure. They are. They're going to be like, oh, we made Virgo quit. We made Virgo. If you're that energy, if you are that energy, source is saying to you, karma doesn't escape anybody. Yeah. Somebody is dealing with a succubus spirit that's on your team. So somebody is associated with nightmares. They rejoice when they feel like they're giving people nightmares. But here's the thing is, you're listening to your intuition. But here's the thing. When you got people who have been a nightmare in your life and they're rejoicing that they've given you a nightmare, they feel like they got you to quit or got you to get fired or somehow play some role. They're already in their karmic cycle. They're already experiencing their karma. Because one thing about dreams is that you could be seeing someone else's dream. in terms of their dream interpretation. You could be seeing someone else, like basically telling somebody, stop, don't go over there. Like you could be literally saying in your dream, telling another person, please don't, I see danger ahead for you. And all people can hear is that you're going through a nightmare, and they're clapping and cheering like, oh, we did it, we did it. We caused some kind of dark magic. We caused this person to have some kind of nightmare, because they've broken all kinds of spiritual laws through astral projection. Their karma has already started. Operating your light, journal your journey. Journal your journey. Somebody hasn't been completely honest with you about something, and the curse is now broken. So in other words, somebody had to end something with you in order for you to see the truth of something. So take a leap of faith, right? Somebody's in a crisis. Somebody had to end something with you in order for you to see the truth of a situation, so that it could have a tower effect. So basically, if a person decides, hey, you know what? We hired Virgo for this job here, but we're not going to tell Virgo everything for this job that we hired Virgo for. And so, Virgo, your assignment is to take that energy out. That energy over there sitting in that secretarial chair, that's the problem of the office. Your assignment, if you want to be a part of this team, is to get rid of that employee right there. They're a problem in the office. So they start with the competing and comparison. Oh, you have higher credentials, you're this, you're that, you're so on and so forth. And all you need to do is just get rid of that energy. So you go right into your 6th house. Okay, we rule 6th house. We're going to study that energy. We're going to study, study, study. Until that energy starts praying, if they're a prayer warrior, and Source says, okay, your assignment is up. And that energy says, okay, you know what? Nobody's been able to get rid of so and so. You go by whatever Source tells you to do. And so you coming in, people will make you see, yes, Virgo, you got rid of that secretary that was sitting over in that chair over there. What did you do? How did you do it? You're sitting there smiling, chest poked out. Yes, I was able to do it. I was able to just kick them off get them out of the office. Now I can be in their position. Yes, I can be in their position. At that very moment when they obey Source, and this is what someone is finding out, that's when you're going to see everything that energy went through in that office, which is going to increase your prayer life. That's when the real humility starts. That's when you start saying, oh, wow, I had no idea this energy was going through hell. And when they decided to enforce boundaries, see this right here, Saturn? When they decided to enforce boundaries, that's when all hell broke loose. That's when a light comes on for some people, when the air supply is cut. That secretary is gone. They moved on to new promotion. Wealth is within your reach. Wealth is not always in the physical sense. Your gifts are awakening, right? Your psychic gifts. You're becoming wealthier in your psychic gifts. It's not always in a physical sense. Just like you were in a position where people thought that they were playing you as a fool, this right here, thought that other people were a fool. See this A right here, connecting you with first house, right? Your first house, people's first impression. Oh, okay, we sized Virgo up. Virgo, go get rid of, that's your first assignment right there. Go get rid of this energy. You say, oh, that's light work. Somebody's ex wants to return. You have the gift of deja vu. This is remembering the future. Ex could be ex-employer who now wants you back in the office because they realize, dang it, you know what? We had a great employee. They were a star in the office. So somebody was being sacrificed. You were the sacrifice, whoever you are. So some Virgos will get it. And pride won't be a part of it. Pride won't get in the way of like, yes, I'm on a team where I was able to finally come in and get rid of something. I was the only one that was able to do it. It happens in new romantic relationships where the one side of the family can't stand the ex. They do everything they can do, no matter how many people the person comes through. The ex is still around. They get one person to come in, and that person finally at that point of saying, just obeying Source, that's when you see everything. And that's what Source is trying to show you, is that it happens on both sides. That's why somebody's ex wants to come in, because your ex is picking up on something. Your ex called you a succubus, right? Whether you're a man or woman. And because they know something big is coming your way, they want back in your space because they are in a crisis. Y'all see this chain reaction. Your ex is in a crisis, right? After whoever that they've been linking up with, whether it's the other side of the family, whether it's the people on their job, whoever did not protect you while you were in hermit mode in your personal or your professional life, the past is trying to resurface, right? And it could have been the thing that you wanted a long time ago. That's why when you learn how to detach, then all of a sudden they want to come back to apologize after they have caused you a complete nightmare. So that is what I'm seeing for you all. Hopefully this is helpful. Let me see if let's set an intention here. So yeah. But somebody is starting to see something for themselves. If I come into any kind of an environment and our first thing I hear is how horrible the last employee was or how horrible the last ex was, I do an about face and turn around and leave. I'm not even trying to hear it. You bring somebody in there just for the purpose of humiliating somebody else, filled with energy. Enough people have gone through enough humiliation ceremonies in their lives to not want to humiliate another human being. You're about to see some karma. You're about to see it. You're about to see a whole tower, but you're about to see some karma. All you need to do is just sit back. So if your employer decided, hey, their intention was to bring you on to humiliate somebody else, and you sit back and watch, you'll see a whole tower fall down. So Source needs you to learn how to detach. Learn how to detach. Well-being. This is a house you are rule. Health and well-being. Start analyzing. See how this person is lying down in the grass? It's like, well, I don't know if you can really see it, but this person is like lying under the moonlight, just recharging, letting their intuition just become stronger and stronger and stronger. So you're learning how to detach from energies that practice dark moon magic through astral projection and all that other craziness that people are doing. And recognizing that when people are having dreams, sometimes the interpretation is misunderstood because we're not each other's gods. Some people thinking, okay, I can see into other people's dreams. And it's just like the game of telephone. They're going back and telling other people, but it's losing something. There's something missing in translation, right? So this is what I'm seeing for you all. Somebody had a dream that they could get you fired from either parenthood. If you have kids, they can get you fired from the other side to make it seem like it's a perfect situation, or in a work situation to make it seem like it's a perfect situation. But no doubt somebody's ex wants to come back because they are in a crisis, whether it's an ex-employer or ex-love interest, ex-friends, whomever wants to come back into your circle. And they're going to use another Virgo or somebody who is very in tune with their sixth house to do it. So you don't have to be a Virgo, sun, moon, right? I'm speaking to you wherever Virgo is in your birth chart, if you're that in tune with your sixth house. Somebody who wanted to see you out of here in your personal, your professional life is in a crisis right now, and they want to come back. They want you to come back, or they want to come back, right? Because they're overwhelmed right now because somebody was not completely honest with you about something. And so Source is saying it's two sides of that. Two sides of that. So that's what I have for you. All right, bye.